So after 13-ish years of making funk, soul, rock and roll, just like live band-based music, I have decided to release a rap song, a hip-hop type vibe. And I grew up listening to all kinds of hip-hop music. It was one of the most common or prominent genres in my household. We listened to everything. My dad really loved that. And, but it's strange because when I actually decided to make music seriously, so that was in university, started a band, and it's been 13, 14, I don't know, a long time, of trying to do it seriously. And not once did I ever think that I would approach rap, although it played an enormous part. Like, I used to make beats. I remember when Soulja Boy, tell him, crank that Soulja Boy. Like that, we had Fruity Loops, making beats, like the early days, Lupe Fiasco, Kid Cudi, that kind of stuff. Kanye back then, just like, yeah, making stuff in high school, but I never really took it seriously at that point. So it just kind of like went away. And then when I started making music, it just wasn't that. And yeah, who knows? You never know what to expect, because here we are. And I think as I strive now, or I seek to express myself as honestly, just as authentically as possible. Like, I want to be all of me. I want to be all parts of myself, I want to find a way to express from the depth, and then give it, just like put it there. It's here. That's that. And so, yeah, hip hop ultimately comes out. Like, it is such a liberating art form. One thing that I love so much about, like, it's so transformative at the heart of what it is. Think about it. These are, you don't have to play instrument. You don't have to have a great singing voice. Like, if I'm, you know what I mean? And not to say that there aren't people who rap with great singing voice. I'm talking about Lauryn Hill, but like, it's just like, there are not as many barriers to entry, to the creation of hip hop music. And that can be such a beautiful thing. If I'm tired after a show, there's some shit I just need to get off my chest, and I don't feel like singing, I don't feel like playing an instrument, whatever. I can take this thing and I can just and rap over it, and then like, that is, yeah, I love it. I love what it is at its core, the reinvention of music, the way we're just, all I have is a record player, a small section of the song where there's drums that are without instrumentation, or a small instrumental loop thingamajiggy, like a little hook thing that and then that becomes like this entire universe. That's is amazing. And I don't know why it took me so long to get to, like, well, actually, no, I do have some thoughts on why it has taken me so long to get to that point. I have such a reverence for hip hop. Thing about hip hop is, it is so interwoven with Black American culture. I am Canadian, and I am, like, mixed, and I'm also fairly privileged. And that is something that I recognize. Like, a lot of the subject matter, just the struggles, the systemic racism, the way it affects people in the States, those are things that I didn't experience to the same extent. I just did not. And I'm aware of that. So if I approach hip hop, or when I've tried to approach it in the past, and I really think about what Kendrick or someone, like, what people have gone through, that then they put on the music, that is, like, very powerful stuff we're talking about, So for me, what am I talking about? What am I going to talk about? I don't know. And because hip hop is so, like, authenticity is such an important aspect of it, and for good reason. It needs to be. It's you. It is you. whoever, you know. And so I needed, I guess, to find a way to authentically connect with it. If the subject matter that is very, very common in hip hop, the people who create the art form have like, I mean, there are just like threads of struggles, specific struggles, and well, I guess, how am I trying to say it? Yeah, like there are specific things that people who make hip hop music have dealt with. You know, there's just, so yeah. And as someone who hasn't dealt with those things in the same way, I just don't want to be fake about it. I can't be fake about it. I don't want to be fake about it. So at first I thought, okay, I'm gonna just leave that to people who have experienced, you know, the oppression, the violence, the shit that you have to do when you have no choice, you know, because you live in a society that is like squishing you down, just like doesn't even think of you as human. Like that shit is really serious, and that just is in hip hop. That is a part of what it is. It is a triumph over the energies or the powers that would keep you down. You know what I mean? And so yeah, that's definitely one thing that I'm like, okay. Not to mention, like, to go beyond that, there is like language and culture and the fashion and the style that are all also, you know, like within this hip hop, the sphere that is hip hop. They are in there. And so language wise, what do I do if I grew up listening to like Rakim? If I grew up listening to all kinds of things, like Mos Def, for example, you know, very clearly has an accent. My man has been exposed to things and just like that I'll never be exposed to. He has a style. He has a, and there are, we're talking about Black Thought from the Roots. It's just like there's the speech. So what do I do then? You know, because that when I think about hip hop, I think about that. I think about like the people who make it, how they sound. And I know ultimately what they're doing is just putting themselves on the thing, but like hip hop grew up, like it's not that old of an art form, and the people who made it, they're there and they left a mark on it. It's the same way that like you hear a specific type of speech pattern, just like a way of speaking, if I'm listening to soul music or I'm listening to whatever music, like, you know. And so, but yeah, I think that there's an added layer of don't do something that you're trying not to put on. You have to actually come as you are if you're going to be doing hip hop, rapping, whatever. So yeah, I think it took me a while to like find a voice that I could even approach the genre with, without feeling like I was disrespecting these people who I hold in such high regard and I have immense reverence for, you know? Like, so that was the thing. That was the thing. How do I do that? Yeah, and for a long time I did not know, and I didn't even think it would ever have been possible, but I just like, you know, like I said, as I seek to express myself authentically, I'm like, it's like I have this urge to rap. I need to. Because it's been part of my life, and how can I do it? And I remember when I was watching YouTube one time, FD Signifier on there, and he was talking about bravado and boasting. They're also components of rap, and like the competitive aspect of it, just like, you know, puff out your chest a little bit. And I think like that combined with my desire to really like participate with respect, informed just like my approach to, I guess, the song that I just released. Like, it's like, yeah, you know, we can be playful about this. So like, it's like there's that sport. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm nice too. You know, there's that bravado. I got the bravado when I'm walking through. But I just try to also just like be myself. Like, I have to remember, we're not putting on. Who am I in the context of rap?